driven, when Pastor Carey asked me to share a devotional, I immediately knew that I wanted to talk about a passage that's been on my heart a lot in our current stage of life. Have you ever had a time in your life when you felt like God was telling you to do something or to go somewhere or to make a change for your family? I think it's easier to look back after the fact and see how things were orchestrated, but I'm talking about in the beginning, when the idea is just starting to form and there's a lot of patience ahead. For us, this started last August. It came out of nowhere and it was definitely about to pull me out of my comfort zone. So naturally, I started to come up with some other plans. Plans that suited me a little bit better, plans that left me feeling cozy, plans that involved me staying right where I was. But God kept working in my heart. And finally, I started to feel some peace about this plan. I know that He's the master planner and that He is in control. And so I said, yes, God. But then I went back to my old ways and I started to write my checklist and create my to-do list and figure out how we were going to make God's plan work. Yeah, go ahead and laugh. I tried to tell God how we were going to accomplish God's plan. I was thinking that God was not going to call us to a path that was hard. I tried to give God timelines and told Him, if it doesn't happen by blank, then obviously it wasn't your plan. I didn't see God calling us to a path that had a lot of disappointments and delays and stumbling blocks. But it's March and here we are. So I still very much believe that this is God's plan for us, and I need to step back and let Him do His work. In the book of Ruth, we meet Naomi and her two daughter-in-laws. They are living in major trial. All three of them are widows. Naomi advises her two daughter-in-laws to go back to their families. She tells them they can go start over. They can remarry. But Ruth chooses to stay. This is the first time we see Ruth say yes to God. Throughout the first 3 chapters in the book of Ruth, we see her say yes over and over again. She says yes by turning away from her family and the idols of her culture. She says yes by working in foreign fields. And she eventually says yes by asking Boaz to marry her. By the time we get to Ruth 3:18, we have seen her have a lot of obedience. We've seen her do the scary things. We've seen her break the cultural norms. At this point in the story, I can picture myself throwing my arms up in the air and saying, okay, God, I've obeyed, come on. Or just washing my hands of it and saying, okay, God, new plan. But Ruth 3:18 says that Naomi advises Ruth to be patient. The verse starts out, wait, my daughter, until you learn how this matter turns out. And instead of throwing a fit or giving up, we see Ruth wait again. Isaiah 30:18 says, therefore the Lord waits to be gracious to you. Therefore He exalts Himself to show mercy to you. For the Lord is a God of justice. Blessed are all those who wait for Him. There's that word again. Wait. We see God's plan finally come into focus at the end of the book of Ruth. Boaz marries Ruth and they have a son. It is this union that eventually brings us King David just a few generations later. When I'm stuck in a period of waiting, like now, I find myself clinging to the book of Ruth, especially verse 3:18. Wait, my daughter. I need to stop trying to be the project manager of God's plan. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Now, more than ever, when the world looks crazy and all the plans that we've made are being thrown out the window, may we draw closer to God. Trust that He's still on the throne and that His ways are still higher than ours. Wait, my friends.